I would like to introduce the man with the plan, Pizza Man Dan, and his speech is entitled The Power of a Personal Note.
Boy. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. By a show of hands, how many of you have received from a friend, a mentor, or a family member a personal note that has inspired you? Almost everybody in this room. Now, I should probably qualify what I'm saying when I say personal note, because in today's age of instant communication with Facebook and text messaging and email and Skype, what I mean is a written personal note, handwritten on a piece of paper. Simple words on a piece of paper, but the power that those words can have can be seen in three stories that I'm going to share with you. Three notes that I have received from, first one from a mentor, the second one from my dad, and the final one from a friend. Let's start with the first note. I received this note from a Toastmaster. Now, not just any Toastmaster gave. This Toastmaster is a distinguished Toastmaster and one of less than 70 accredited speakers in the world. This Toastmaster gave me a gift a few years back, a gift of 4 CDs from gentlemen I had never heard of before in my life. See if you recognize any of these names. David Brooks, Dana Lamont, Lance Miller. Do you recognize those names? Well, attached to this gift was the real gift. It was a note, and that note said, "I have confidence in you, your friend, Wayne Choate." Now, for those of you who don't know Wayne, if you look around the room anytime I'm speaking, he's the guy that looks like he's landing an aircraft about 7 minutes and 20 seconds into my speech. He's in the back of the room doing this and doing this. That's Wayne Choate. Well, Wayne is not just a friend, he is my mentor. And can you imagine, I had never even considered achieving accredited speaker in my lifetime. But can you imagine, when you have the confidence of that caliber of speaker behind you, that is the positive power of a personal note. Now, the second note that I received was from my dad. I led a fairly troubled youth, and by troubled, surely I meant that I was trouble for everyone around me. And if I could go back, there are a lot of things that I wish I could change. In fact, one example, when I was 16 years old, I elected to attend a beach party instead of attending the funeral of my Uncle Bill. And I can tell you my entire family was incensed. And of course, being young and dumb, I wanted to justify myself to my dad, and I said, "Dad, why did I need to go to Uncle Bill's funeral? He's dead. He doesn't care. He doesn't know who was there." My dad always knew how to make the point just so. He said, "Son, if you don't go to other people's funerals, they won't come to yours." Well, this year I received, or at the end of last year, I received in the mail the agenda, the magazine for the 2013 International Pizza Expo. And that magazine, the agenda for the expo, had all of my 6 speaking roles highlighted. It had my role as the international judge for the pizza competition highlighted. And attached to the front of this magazine was a note from my dad. And the note said, "Son, I'm proud of you." Now, I shared this with my wife Sheila, and I said, "Hun, a dad's love is automatic. They're stuck with that. But to hear that your dad is proud of you, what better words could a son hear?" That, Sheila, is the positive power of a personal note. Well, the final note is from a friend of Sheila and I. Sheila discovered her passion for helicopters late in life, at 40 years old. And let me tell you, 40 years old means you can't get a job in this field. The Coast Guard, the military, the police department, the fire department, they don't want anything to do with you. They want the young people so they have an investment of time in them over the years. So it's very difficult to get started. Well, when Sheila realized this, but discovered she had enough passion, she wanted to make a career of this, the first thing that everybody told her, you must meet this woman, Karen. Because you see, Karen did exactly what Sheila wants to do. At the age of 50, she discovered a passion for helicopters. And by the age of 60, she had made a career out of that. Well, Karen fast became a mentor for Sheila, of course, and she became a dear friend of ours. And I just love how Karen looks at life. we were talking about our financial difficulties in this last recession with Karen, and she looked me right in the eye and she said, Dan, when you're going through hell, just keep on going. And I thought that was so perfect. Well, on January 2nd of this year, at 5:30 in the morning, while flying her helicopter over the orange groves between Foss Control and San Joaquin Valley, Karen lost her life in a helicopter crash. And the very next morning, we received this personal note in the mail. I'd like to honor Karen by reading it to you right now. Dear Sheila, I was thinking about what a good person you are. The first adjective that comes to mind is upbeat, so hardworking, sincere in everything that you do. I believe that kind of energy generates positive returns. It may not come in the form you anticipate. It may come in something better. So be on the lookout and ever open to the possibilities. Wishing you and Dan a much better year ahead. With much love, Karen. Well, I can tell you that Sheila was bawling as she read this. But do you know what she did? She looked at me and she said, honey, that's the positive power of a personal note. Well, you do not need to be an accredited speaker. You do not need to be a dad. And you certainly do not need to give your life to inspire others. You each have the power, the positive